right, well, Tim, it's good to be back on High Takes, April 20th. Crazy that we have a show coincidentally April 20th, and it will be running over 4:20 in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah. I was not expecting that.
This is not what I envisioned when we started this show back in September, but
No,
here
but
we are.
it
Here we
was meant
are.
to be. It
We're
was meant to
thriving.
be. Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
let's
So
get it. The Super Soccer League, or the Super League in soccer, aka football, is trying to be made, and everyone is not liking that. And the league is comprised of 12 clubs, being some of the top clubs in the world. Ben, what were your thoughts about this?
I'm not a big soccer watcher, but from someone outside of Europe, where this is still kind of foreign to me. I mean, I know soccer's everywhere. I can get exposure to it if I want it. But seeing this, I thought it sounded cool. All right, if I want to see competition, I want to see it at the highest level. So when I see that the 12 best teams are exiting a domestic league where the competition isn't as high, and I can see the best athletes play the best athletes on the best teams by the best coached teams, that sounded exciting to me. That sounded like something I wanted to watch as someone who hasn't watched soccer. I know you're more invested into soccer than I am, so I was wondering what you thought about this, seeing that like it's saying that all these smaller, not as talented teams, their competition is truly being diminished, and they won't have a chance to excel or get better.
Well, yeah, like the whole point of soccer, um, why it's the people's game, is because it's really the people's game. Anyone can play it based on like costs, whatever. Like anyone can play it, and the fact that the whole system is built on like if you're good enough, you keep rising up, right? You keep rising up. But what's stupid about the Super League, in my sense, is like, yeah, there's this competition that people are wanting, but people are getting that once a year with the Champions League. That's what the Champions League is. So it's like, it's just like one, you're just, I don't know. It's very much, I don't know. The only way I can explain it is it's made by the poor, stolen by the rich, and without competitiveness in soccer, that ruins like all the other leagues, the teams, especially since top clubs give money to all the littler clubs that like they support them. That would ruin like the economic structure of soccer. Also, like the teams in the Super League, like Tottenham and Arsenal, like people are saying like these are the top teams, but bro, like Arsenal isn't even in the top 10 of the Premier League. So like how can I can't see a league being made with the most competitive teams when Arsenal and like Tottenham are shit. PSG's not even going to play in it because they know that's against like football or soccer. Bayern Munich's not even going to play in it. The football fans of the world disagree with it. Really, the only people that want this league to happen, or like the majority of the people that want the league to happen, are like the people that are making money off of it. Even the players on the team, like the teams were like, debatably like one of the best players on Manchester United was like he commented on it. He just said dreams can't be bought. Like that's what it is. It's like every for soccer players, like that's the dream of just like playing and getting to the big stage. But when you cap it out as like you can't get here, that destroys that competitiveness. I don't know.
I like that perspective. It's not something that I had known before, so I'll give you that.
It's a lot of stuff happening.
Here's what I think is interesting about it. After a day, it's already falling apart.
Yeah,
because it's already falling apart. Man City and Chelsea are already pulling out. They've already started withdrawing. So I don't understand how like the business, as functioning business people, the owner of the teams, thought that they wouldn't receive this response from. I don't understand how they didn't think that through. If I feel like you had to have some anticipation of this negative response from really the global community.
No, I think. So the weird thing about it was like in 2009 there's this like soccer coach, Arsene Wenger, who was like the Arsenal coach, who's actually like a legend. But he was like, in 10 years, there's going to be like a European Super League. And 10 years later, there's a European Super League trying to be made. But people have always opposed it for those reasons of just like the competitiveness, and it's like the people's game. Another reason I also don't like it is because it puts more wear and tear on the player's body. Like imagine like you live in Spain, then all of a sudden like once a week you're going over to like England, like just on a Wednesday to go play a soccer game.
I mean, that's not that bad. That's like going from Philadelphia to California. I mean, that's
but
NBA players are doing that night turnaround.
Yeah, once a week. At the top of like that, like I think Liverpool, like in perspective of like soccer and stuff, it's like Liverpool, like I don't know, like soccer is just you have to run way more, bro. Like it's a full field. It's not like it's a basketball court or it's like a hockey thing or it's like golf. I don't give a shit about golf, but like it puts way more wear and tear on people's bodies than they know it. So there's that. But also you said that Chelsea and the other team are trying to hop out of it.
Yeah, Man City's already hopping out.
And that's because like
they filed to, or however the process is before it's even started. They're already withdrawing.
Because the funny thing about that is the backlash they received was that 3 of those teams that were going to join the Super League are in the Champions League semifinals. And the only one that wasn't going to do the European League was PSG. So UEFA came out and was like, yeah, we'll have a response to you by like Friday, but that response will probably be you're getting kicked out of the Champions League, which would mean that PSG would automatically win the Champions League. So all those teams that have worked, all what those teams have worked for this whole season will just be lost. And then if they leave the European League, if they leave the Premier League, like say Manchester United leaves the Premier League, right? And they come back, they have to come back and start in the lowest tier, which is like the 5th division. So they have to take.
But wouldn't they just plow through that though?
It would, but it would take 5 years, and it would arguably put a huge taint on that club's history. And for like soccer clubs, history is who they are. Like that's just how that works. So
sounds good. I think I don't know. I feel like I'm still like. Do you think having the 2 teams they should push forward with the league anyway? I mean, 10 teams, that doesn't sound like enough to really sustain a sports league.
It's not enough to have no. That's like and that's the other thing too, right? Like I go out and watch like so like people want to see Manchester United versus fucking Real Madrid like I don't know how many times a year because of this league. But after a while, you're going to be like, like Manchester United and Real Madrid are on again. Like, okay, cool. Like, the Sixers are playing the Celtics. Cool. Like, good competition. After a while, that's not as unique anymore. The thing about what makes the World Cup, and so special is that it only happens once in a while. Like, those teams only play those teams to win that. And that's what the Champions League is. They play once a year. Sometimes you don't even play certain teams. So it's like a treat to watch that. And like there's already things that like they have the Audi Cup in the beginning of the year in America, and that's like the same teams playing against each other, but that's with they're like really crap players. And if they made this league, they wouldn't be playing their best players all the time because those best players would get injured. They would rest them or whatever. And like, it would just be like nonsense. You're always going to have a loser too. And if you're going to expect a top team in the world to be the loser 12th in a row for like consecutive years, like that's just not going to work. Their base value as a company will move down because like for the shittiest team in the league, I'd rather go to a better league like the Premier League go play for like Norwich. Like Norwich is trash, bro. But yeah, we can move off of that. But
All right.
I have
Good.
I have a lot of thoughts about that.
All right. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in today. Of course, as we said, every episode of Hot Takes is special. Hot Takes on 420. I mean, what a coincidence! Crazy. Of course, brief. You know, Tim, we got to give our High Takes producer a little credit. That issue with the microphone at the beginning was a little off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great. whoever High Takes producer is. Wow, let's give him some credit for fixing that little technical difficulty at the beginning of the show. We'll be right back to the rest of our discussions on past week of sports, NFL draft right around the corner, as well as number one senior in the nation committing to his college for basketball, and of course NBA power rankings, our reactions to that, and the NBA MVP race really becoming a lot more interesting in these last few weeks of the regular season. We'll be right back in a minute after these words from our sponsors.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
All right, and we're back. Of course, NFL news to continue with the show. Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Steelers, has received a 3-year contract extension. So he will remain the Steelers head coach through at least 2024, barring any terrible news, whether the Steelers have a terrible season or whatnot. But I think this is saying a lot. I think it's a good move. Steelers moving in the right direction despite keeping Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. I think this goes to show that regardless of if Ben Roethlisberger retires or not, Mike Tomlin is there to stay, regardless of who's playing quarterback, regardless of the player leading the team on the field. Most recent season, they went 12-4 after starting with an 11-game win streak and lost to the Browns in Super Wildcard Weekend. Regardless, I'd say, this is just a really solid move. I mean, the market for coaches right now is pretty bad. I mean, you look at the guy the Lions hired. What do you say, like bite your kneecaps off or whatever?
Yeah, bro.
Who else?
He's full on like.
Who else are
crazy.
recent hires? Nick Sirianni. I don't love that. He's some random coordinator they found on the streets.
I think the Steelers got. I think they got a really good deal. I think I don't think there's anything that will make me question Tomlin's ability to coach. He's already won a Super Bowl when he was younger, and I think now it's just his problem in that realm of coaching is the fact that he has Ben Roethlisberger, who's not that crazy of a QB anymore. So
Exactly.
he has to deal with that. But I think that was a really good deal.
That's my same concern too, because if we see further regression from Roethlisberger, we'll see them get a decent pick, or they'll be able to trade a pick. They do have players to be able to trade. They got Fitzpatrick, and they got Watt. They got Connor's gone now, so they got receivers who can get the job done. None of them I'd say are special right now. Juju just signed his 1-year contract extension earlier this offseason. But I think he's got enough players. He's got enough talent to make the playoffs again, especially under his coaching. And seeing how he's dealt with the turmoil of the Antonio Brown situation a couple years ago, the Le'Veon Bell situation, I'd say they've recovered from that, making the playoffs this past year. And as a coach, he's been even-keeled throughout the whole time.
Yeah, and I think
he has perfect management of his team.
Yeah. I think 3 years gives him enough time, too, per se, if this year does go bad with Roethlisberger, that he can come in after this year is over, or after next year is over, maybe get a new QB, try to develop him, and then go into that second year. And if it doesn't work, then 3 years are up, and then you get a new coach. But I think that leaves a 3-year deal for Tomlin leaves a lot of opportunity on the table.
Yeah, and the great thing about this for the Steelers is that they need stability in this upcoming AFC North. I mean, we're looking at Ravens playoffs past 3 years now, right? Yeah. Playoffs past 3 years.
Browns
are ascending now that. Dude, Clowney's not elite, but the Browns now have Clowney, who on the other side of the field, other side of the line from Garrett.
Yeah, that makes me afraid.
It's a pretty lethal duo.
Yeah.
And then
they got rid of Sheldon Richardson, but like that's not too big.
Even the Bengals are on the rise too. I mean, we haven't seen all of Joe Burrow, but they got good picks this year. Burrow might be reunited with Jamar Chase. We'll see if the Bengals select a lineman.
Do you think it'd be better to get Burrow a receiver that's open, or someone that can just like protect him in the pocket for longer?
Had he not gotten injured this year, I would have said go with the receiver. But given he's coming off an injury, I want to see someone who will keep him from getting knocked down. That just makes a lot more sense to me. Get some insurance on Burrow.
Honestly, he can finesse like the whole like get a good pocket, pull a Tom Brady, throw it to like some white guy named Amendola, Wes Welker, whatever, and then just like have him pick up a bunch of yards after like a 2-yard check down pass. Like but Burrow will be better at the passes.
Burrow's smart enough to make the throws that he needs to on the reads he needs to. It's just a matter of, I mean, and he's not the most mobile guy, but he's a young guy, so he can move much better than Mac Jones coming out. I mean, I do like Burrow to stay through probably longer than his rookie contract in Cincinnati. I mean, who else do they have?
Want him to stay longer in Cincinnati? That's interesting.
I mean,
if they get
I think that they want him. I can see him lasting more than just his rookie contract, or at least him being confident moving through his 5th-year option on that contract.
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw a meme about Joe Burrow. I was just laughing. Huh? You swipe over? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think the Bengals can pull a Browns for sure. I think anyone that can. I think now that we saw the fact that a team could do that and how bad the Browns had it, I mean, I think the Bengals can do it if they have the right management and the people to pull it off.
Yeah, and the Bengals have never even been as bad as the Browns.
Yeah, and they definitely have enough cap space. They definitely have enough picks. And they do have Joe Burrow on his rookie contract for however long up until that 5 years.
3 more years and then the option, which isn't
Yeah.
crazy.
And I don't even know what he's on right now, but it still can't even be that much for being the rookie.
Yeah. So right now I like that, but that coming back to it, I think Mike Tomlin has a challenge in this AFC North, but he's the man to take on the challenge.
For sure. Totally agree with that. I don't know who is the who's the Browns head coach?
The Browns have great chemistry right now with Kevin Stefanski as their head coach.
Okay.
Everything's meshing for them from top to bottom from every position. I mean, they have Jarvis Landry still, Odell Beckham, who, I mean,
He's coming back. Whatever.
Baker isn't the most productive with him on the field, but he's still a great talent. Or that one tears me. If he doesn't have that one catch, is he really a great talent?
Yeah, no, I've actually always thought that, bro.
That's an
He's
argument
nice.
for another time.
He's nice as hell, but like, if I put him on the field and then I put like Julio on the field, I'm gonna want Julio way more than I'm gonna want Odell Beckham Jr.
Exactly, but
I don't even give a shit what they're rated in Madden, bro. Like, it's Julio had a good, or Odell had a crazy catch. Julio's been making catches and just gets no touchdowns, but gets credit for being the best in the league.
yeah, but the rest of the skill positions are great too, with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt still at running back.
Dude, Chubb is an animal.
And then tight end group is above average with Austin Hooper, right? And David Njoku. He doesn't have the best hands, but he can run routes and get around defenders.
Offensive line, pretty good. Defensive line,
protect Baker.
pretty good. Corner, fullbacks, not fullbacks, defensive backs. They got
Greedy Williams, right?
Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
I don't know who their linebackers are. That just seems like the only position that's like, oh, who are their linebackers?
Oh, Taki or something.
Yo, they do have that guy.
That's who it is.
Uh,
Browns linebackers. Let's make sure I got that name right. It's something weird like that. I remember.
No. They definitely use a Taki person.
Let's see. Yeah. I don't even know how to say his name right, but that's it. Let's see. Anthony Walker and Malcolm Smith are their other linebackers.
Yeah, so other than their linebackers, do we play them this year?
No. We played the AFC North this past year, so the Eagles will not play the Browns for another 4 years.
Oh, God, bro.
The NFC East matches the AFC West this year.
Shit. Did you actually see, like, technically the Eagles have the easiest schedule?
I did, and the Eagles get the Jets in their extra 17th game, but that's away. But the Eagles are all-time either 11-0 or 12-0 against the Jets. The Jets have never beat the Eagles in history.
Oh, that's good news.
Yep.
And I'm not too worried now that they lost their best player. So
They're losing Sam Darnold. You think that's their best player? No. I think. I mean, we're looking now. Let's move to some draft talk. We're looking now. It's possible 4 quarterbacks go in the first 4 picks, as opposed to thinking it would be 3 in the first 3. Now it's looking like it could be 4 in the first 4. So we got Matt Ryan down in Atlanta, still under contract for 2 years, but word's coming out that they're really liking Trey Lance out of North Dakota State.
a stupid idea.
So taking a quarterback or taking Trey Lance?
Taking Trey Lance at 4, I think.
At that point, though, the quarterbacks off the board are going to be Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. Oh, no. So you're saying they should take Justin Fields?
I mean, I'd rather take Justin Fields than Trey Lance if they're going for a quarterback. Yeah, but I mean,
because it's
I don't know how how realistic this is, but I think it'd be really, really fun to watch Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle
See,
Pitts.
here's the thing.
I think that'd be
Atlanta
really
needs defense.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Every defensive position they need.
Yeah.
We've seen their wide receivers are great.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, can they Brooklyn Nets the whole league? Can they do
I
that?
think they can. Look at like the past 4 years of the teams that have gone to like the conference championship games. They've all had both offense and defense. None of them have been just pure offensive teams. None of them have been pure defensive.
That's true. The last Super Bowl that was like a shootout was the Eagles and the Patriots.
And even then, that year, the Eagles had the best ranked defensive line. First or second best defensive line. Top 10 secondary.
So who do you think, you just saying that they should go for a defensive pick, or do you think they should like trade down or something?
I think they need to be. I think they need to play out another year of Matt Ryan. Because Matt Ryan with those receivers can play at a high level. I
think so too. Do I think he's a little bit of a pussy? Yeah.
No.
He is.
Yeah, I mean he cries whenever he gets hit.
Yeah.
But it's football. You get hit.
I think he can. He has enough power, offensive power down there. But I can't see someone using the fourth pick on a defensive player in this draft. Because you wouldn't.
That's the thing, but you can get the best defensive player in the draft.
You can go down like 4 spots and still get to the best defensive player.
Yeah, but who's looking to trade up right now? Eagles already traded down. They're eyeing
Howie, bro.
They're not going to. They're eyeing a return to the top 10. Those reports have been coming out since they traded back down to 12.
Yeah, but what is the team that they're trying to switch it with? Like Detroit?
I have no idea. I think Carolina makes sense. Because we know Carolina's not taking a quarterback anymore. They already got Darnold. We thought that they were going to take a quarterback. That's not the case anymore.
Maybe they go out and go take like Pitts or Parsons, bro.
I don't know. Dolphins are now at 6 where the Eagles were. They're going to be taking, I think, they're definitely taking a skill position to help out Tua. Because they take a great skill player to help Tua.
Okay.
And if Tua doesn't do well, then you know Tua's not the answer, and you just get someone on it next year.
Yeah, I think they're taking a wide receiver.
Cowboys selected number 10. Giants selected 11, or it's the other way around.
How high is JC Horn?
What's your question? Oh, the corner?
Yeah.
How high is West Virginia corner?
Yeah.
I'd say you could probably pick him up as early. He'll be gone by third. I think he'll be, depending on who you evaluate as a better corner. Surtain.
Yeah. I've seen that. That's a toss up at that point.
I'd say they're both gone by 20.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at teams like Minnesota could use help. New England, you never know what they're doing.
Belichick's probably looking at some like unranked fucking 250-pound linebacker that's like 6'3".
Yeah. I think the defensive players are going to fall unnecessarily far.
In this draft, you think people are overvaluing? You think people are overvaluing offensive positions this year? Yeah. I can see that. I think people are actually overvaluing quarterbacks.
You're going to see these middle first-round teams scoring on the best defensive players.
I can buy into that. I'll buy into that.
You're going to see Washington football team 7-9. They won the division. It dropped them all the way down to the 19th pick.
But they're going to go out and get like a good ass like corner if they wanted.
Yep.
That's scary. They already. You think they could? You think they might use like a pick on an offensive tackle though? because I feel like they definitely have some offensive line needs. Because like defensively, maybe not their problem as much, but like wide receiver, they're chilling with wide receiver.
Yeah, because they have what now? Curtis Samuel, their running back. Oh,
they're gonna send it and just go out.
Is it Antonio Gibson?
It is. Imagine if they sent out. Imagine if they went out and just got Najee
Harris. That'd be scary. Travis Etienne is looking like a second rounder.
That's stupid because Travis he tried to stay in college and move his draft stock up because he was going to be a second rounder last year, but he just did the same thing, put up a hell of a season, and still being undervalued. I think he's going to be I think he'll be a steal like Sanders was.
I think he'll be more of a Josh Jacobs. Still good, solid.
Josh Jacobs was drafted higher.
Yeah.
I just mean Sanders was the 52nd pick. He'll probably be the 30-something, 20-something, 30-something. I don't know.
All right, well that's that. Now, what I still can't wrap my head around this one. Can't justify it by any means. San Francisco is still believed to be taking Mac Jones. There's no way they can't be bluffing right now.
I thought they wanted Fields, bro.
The Falcons, the Niners want Mac Jones at 3.
That's buddy. It's Mac. It's Mac Jones.
Exactly.
He can't move.
He was surrounded by the most talent. Played for Nick Saban. And won a championship from a team that won 7 games last season.
May I raise a question?
Yes, you may raise a question. My roommate Seth.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's super athletic or anything, but doesn't it say something about his composure that when everybody's you have to win or else you're saying you're on him all year, he does win and he plays spectacularly well with ball placement and such.
Yeah,
he definitely had the pressure on him to perform.
I think that's expected
but he also had the team to perform.
Yeah, and that's expected of any Power 5 quarterback.
Yeah. I think a taint on him, though, is the fact that he only played 1 year. That's a taint. I think that's a taint on every college QB. Or should be.
Because Hurts and Tua, who aren't even panning out well.
Exactly. And think about this. The MVP. The MVP of Nickelodeon. Mitch Trubisky played 1 year. And look where he is. Dude's the same person, but can run better than Mac Jones.
That's actually a great comparison.
Yeah.
Great comparison.
So I'm worried about this whole 1 year thing. So who knows? I think they should go out and get Justin Fields, but they'll make their own consequences, bro. They're the 49ers.
You know what? You're right. They do have a great roster outside of quarterback. And even then, Jimmy G has stacked up wins. So we'll see if Belichick looks for a Garoppolo return or if the Niners, they've been lying to us the whole time. They're not taking Mac Jones. I'm excited. We're about a week away. Not even a week away. When's the draft? I keep thinking it's earlier than it is.
See, my thing is I know it's sometime soon, and then there's gonna be that day where I wake up and be like, "Yo, it's the draft today. Let's go."
It's the 29th. 9 days.
9 days? I can do that. Hopefully.
Next Thursday.
Be writing my college finals then.
I will too.
Let's move on to the
NBA. Some NBA talk.
Oh, also before we move on to that, or the NCAA and the NBA, I hope Alex Creed enjoys his retirement. He had unfortunate career, but a hell of
Alex
a
Smith.
hell of a career.
Yeah, great comeback story.
Yeah.
But Alex Smith's retired from the NFL.
But moving on to NCAA, Gonzaga landed the number 1 recruit of the class of 2021. Some skinny white boy that looks like a praying mantis.
Yeah, that's true.
That-
He's 7 feet tall, like
Yeah.
195 pounds.
100 of what?
95. 195. That's
See, actually,
he's a pretty thin guy. He
yeah, I know he's big. I know he's big, but at the same time, bro, it's hard for me to be like, dude. Remember when you played high school basketball when you were in 8th grade? Were you like tall compared to people or something?
I was pretty average.
Pretty average.
Well, I was like, it depended on the game.
Yeah. So I guess my point is, it's like you and I, we watched Mo in high school, Mobamba in high school, right?
Yeah,
Murked
he
it.
was the third
Exactly.
best player in his class.
Yeah. But my point is, he was like the same body structure overall.
But he doesn't. He looked like he could move fine.
Who?
Mo. I never looked at Mo and thought like this guy moves weird. This guy like just looks like he moves weird.
Yeah.
But somehow here at senior year
I'm
stats,
just. Yeah.
20.8 points a game, 12.6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and
5 blocks.
5 blocks.
Yo.
But dude, I swear I'm seeing Derek Lively put up 5 blocks
Yeah, that's actually very true.
against a loaded FSL.
Yeah,
But
bro.
here's what gets me: 80% from the field for this guy. Chet Holmgren.
And he's scoring 20 a game.
Yeah. So here's how he chose Gonzaga. Chose him over UNC, Michigan, Ohio State, Georgetown, Minnesota, Memphis, and even a chance to get $100,000 in the G League. So he made this decision because he actually played basketball. He was on the same team as Suggs. And Suggs influenced his decision. So this is great for the Gonzaga program. Even though they didn't win the championship, they're going to start getting perpetual high prospects.
Nah, they will. And it's good too because now
they'll see how they develop into NBA players and how they transition from high school to the NCAA.
It's also interesting that he chose to do this over the whole 100,000.
Yeah, if I'm 18 and you're offering me $100,000.
Yeah, like if someone told me,
that's hard to turn down.
I'd be like, I'm taking that. But I don't know. I think it says something. I think it sends a good message to what college sports are. But I don't know. I'm kind of worried about this kid after he gets out of college because, like, and again, Mo was crazy in college, but he has weight problems. Like, this kid's gonna have weight problems.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's gonna turn into the next Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant's 7'1" and just is like doing random stuff. But.
Well, look, KD just got hurt the other night again, right?
Exactly, dude. And I'm not even surprised. I saw that and I was like, yep. Ben and I talked about that on our podcast. We were just like, they're going to get hurt more.
Yeah,
They're going to
it's
lose.
been the downfall of them. It will continue to be. I don't think we'll see three.
We can't even see their.
We will not see 4 consecutive games with the Nets' big 3.
Yeah, and we didn't even see a game with all them in, bro. And I mean by all them in, I mean like when they signed LaMarcus Aldridge too. Like I feel bad for him because of his heart condition. That sucks. But they signed this guy. Everyone was hurt. They didn't even play together. And then now he's gone. Kevin Durant's hurt. I mean, like, it's just like, what's next?
Yeah, so just completely tough for them. They lost to the Heat, so that's insane. I like the Heat. I think they're trending up. They'll carry it, but they lost. The Nets lost to the Heat, who are 15th in power rankings right now. So that's that. The Nets right now in NBA power rankings, this is according to NBA.com, are number 4. The Heat are 15. But there's a new team that's holding I don't want to say strong, but a sturdy lead in first in the East, being the Sixers. Not only are they first in the East, but they hold the number 1 spot on NBA's most recent power rankings. And they're ranked 2nd in defense, which makes a lot of sense to me when Ben Simmons is on the court. True defensive player of the year, I'll say, and this was proven last night when Steph Curry went off. All right, this argument that Ben Simmons' limited scoring as an issue is detrimental to the Sixers is completely asinine. He doesn't need to put up 25 points. He doesn't even need to put 20. If he can put up 12 to 18 and continue his defensive playing, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because then you have Tobias putting up like 28. You got Joel putting up like 30-something. You got Steph hitting oh, God. Not Steph. Shit.
Seth Curry.
Seth hitting his threes. Danny hopefully is doing something. Hopefully he's doing something right. But, yeah. No, it's a stupid comment to say that him not scoring is detrimental to the team.
I just think they're such a nicely put together team.
For sure. I think Doc Rivers only compliments that.
Yeah, that's definitely it. You look at what Al Horford's doing now that he's not playing for Brett Brown is much better than what he was when he was playing with Brett Brown and before he was playing with Brett Brown.
Exactly.
So truly just goes to show you doing the best coaching, among the best coaching in the association right now as well. So let's move into this. I've really thought, no question, Embiid has been MVP all season. I thought that him missing games, his extended period of missing games, would hurt his case. And now we're seeing, I think it is a good deal. So favorites right now to win, betting odds, are the Joker at minus 280. So he's runaway favorites right now. Joel comes at 2 at plus 270. Here's what's interesting, because here's who's looking like the MVP right now. Steph Curry. Before Monday night, his odds were plus 10,000. After his win, after the Golden State Warriors to the Sixers and Curry's dominant performance, he's now plus 6,000. And 8th in total. So here's what he's been doing. All right, this season, he has 540. Oh, this is just since April. 5 40-plus games. And then in the past 11 games, he's scored 30 or more points. So last 5 games, 49 points, 10 threes, 47 points, 11 threes, 33 points, 4 threes, 42 points, 11 threes, 53 points, 10 threes. Now here are Joel's stats for the season, having missed, 15 games? Has been that many?
I mean, a good amount of games. Nothing crazy, but like 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
All right. Averaging 30.7 points, 10.3 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks in the last 7 games, 5 of which have been wins. That's been since his return. And then the Joker is on track for being the second player in league history to average 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. So right now, who do you have winning MVP?
I'm going to say the same thing I say every time we have this conversation, and every time I have this conversation with someone else. Who is in conversation for being a defensive NBA? Like all team defense and like defensive player of the year.
Joel.
Both. Yeah, Joel's in that conversation. And like then you're comparing the offensive stats, right? So Joel has more points, about as many boards, and the only thing he's lacking in is like the assist department. But I don't care about having 4 less assists when you have the best, like one of the best NBA defensive players. And that's why I think Joel Embiid is the MVP over the Joker. But people really, all anyone ever looks at is offensive talent in MVP rankings. So I think that's a bit shameful, and it should be looked at as a whole. Because if you look at it as a whole, you'll be like, wow, Embiid's a way more well-rounded player than the Joker is. And who's the actual most valuable player to the team? Someone that's valuable on one side of the court, or someone that's valuable on both? So that's my take.
Yeah, I mean, my thing here is like how you define this award. It's the most valuable, so it has to be of value to your team. You have to consider what your team is with and without you. And we've seen the Sixers without Embiid, and they're a good team without Embiid. The Warriors without Steph Curry would be nothing right now. So they are currently the 9th seed in the East, but with the way they've been playing, with the way Steph Curry's been playing, it's looking like they're going to get pushed into the 9th in the West. It looks like they're going to get pushed into that last playoff spot, especially with however this play-in tournament's working.
Yeah. I guess my whole defense for the whole most I don't know, the whole most valuable player thing, that's all relative, the meaning of it. Because I see it as like the best player of the year. But there are like very valuable players to their teams. Like in a sense, it's like if we looked at it like most valuable players, like in the sense of like Steph Curry to his team, then I feel like I could make the argument saying Damian Lillard to the Portland Trailblazers should have been a top 5 MVP runner for the past 5 years. How important he is to that team.
He's sitting at the 5th best odds to win it.
Yeah, and he like in the past 2 years, he just made his first All-Star. But the success of the team was based on his playing and McCollum. McCollum, the Jamal Murray to Jokic is what McCollum is to CJ, minus the positions. I don't know. But,
see, I'm just thinking, imagine Clay is in the game right now. Clay's not hurt. You're putting Curry right back in that top 3 because they'll be winning more. But he'll still be producing nearly just as much. And Curry would still be there. It's just the wins. And they can string together some wins.
At that point,
who's Curry's cast right now? Kelly Oubre? He's good, but he's not nothing special.
At that point, it's like, is Steph Curry really the best player if Klay Thompson all of a sudden comes back and their team is playing way better? To me, that just sounds like Klay Thompson's the better player. Because
I'm saying Curry's putting up similar stats
to his MVP years
to right now, but they have 5 more wins on the season. Let's just say that's a low number. 5 more wins on the season.
Yeah. That would change so much.
But he's playing the same.
Yeah, I don't know. You bring up actually very good points.
Yeah, so you got that's why it's not the best player award. It's the most valuable. Who gives the most value to their team? And with us substituting one player, how do you determine that? And that's why I think there's a little. I do want Joel to win it. I'm a big fan of Joel Embiid. But when you look at how the Sixers have performed without him, I mean, you got to look at how the Warriors have performed without Curry, and they can't. I guess we'll close on that. Let's get our picks in for the night because, of course, we know sports gambling is not irresponsible if you're winning. So
yeah.
Let's get up the lines tonight, and we'll make our picks.
It's not funny.
Oh, why is this spread so big? Atlanta Hawks are 12.5-point favorites to the Orlando Magic.
Jesus.
Oh, man.
NBA.
Give me the Magic to cover 12.5.
I'll take Magic to cover.
That's a lot of points.
Surprisingly enough, I didn't realize the Hawks are in 4th place in the East.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Not terrible. I mean, there's a big difference between, I'd say, the top 4.
Oh,
and
no.
the next 4. There's a pretty big gap there.
But still,
it's still impressive to be there at that 4 for this Hawks team.
Yeah. Brooklyn Nets.
Nets underdogs tonight.
Yeah, underdog. 3-point underdogs to the Pelicans. I'm going to have to check the injury report. But looking at that, unless you got Harden playing, I'm going to take the Pelicans.
I agree with you on that one. I'll take the Pelicans to cover 3.
But if it's Harden and Irving, then I'm going to take that.
And then
Charlotte, 6-point
There we go.
underdogs.
I'll take Charlotte. I'll take Charlotte as an underdog. All right, wow. Two underdogs.
I'm gonna take New York Knicks spread. I like the Knicks right now. A lot.
No, I'm taking the Hornets. Just because the Knicks, they screw me every time. The Knicks screw me
They do
every
be
time.
like that. They really do be like that with the Knicks.
It's the only team that screws me every time.
The one time they didn't screw me, they were up they won by 30, and I was like, let's go! I was like,
But no,
that's that worked.
I swear they know when I bet on them. Someone is up there telling them guys, tonight's the night.
You be watching it, and then it just goes through their consciousness being bet number 2054.
Yeah.
Just watching the game. Fuck that guy.
They know.
Moving on. Minnesota, 3-point underdogs to the Sacramento Kings.
Kings.
I'm going to take Kings spread there. And then the Los Angeles Clippers, 7.5-point favorites to the Portland Trailblazers. I'm going to take Portland Trailblazers.
What is it again?
Portland, 7.5 points. Dude, Portland's a good, win-wise relative to the Clippers. Portland's
here's what I'll say in the wise words of Charles Barkley.
I've
been poor. I've been rich. I've been fat. I've been skinny. I've been old. I've been in the Hall of Fame. And one thing I can always tell you, the Clippers have always sucked. So
all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Do not take the Clippers tonight. All right, well,
think of any high takes right now before we leave.
All you.
I'm just gonna double down. Ben Simmons, defensive MVP,
Defensive Player of the Year. I like that, and I'll take that too because they would have beat the Warriors last night had he played. That's just a fact.
I think so.
There's no other way to interpret that. All right. Well, thank you all for listening to High Takes, the 420 edition, special edition episode. This probably won't happen for until at least a year, but that's not how math works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
Years are weird.
Yes. So thanks for listening. Oh, and of course, gotta plug this. The Burn with Mitch is on tonight at 6 as regularly scheduled. Mark Zumoff will be on the show tonight. So
Zumoff is coming on again?
Mark Zumoff will be on The Burn with Mitch.
That's hella exciting.
Thanks for listening. And of course, we'll be back every Tuesday, 4 to 5 p.m. on 12 Ounce Sports.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.